That's the verse and the chorus. So let's just go through a few of the patterns that are there and the chord structures and see how far we can get. So the beginning has a 4-chord sequence that starts with D major. So you want your hand, there's my middle C, on a D major chord position up here, D, F sharp, A, and your left hand will be sort of at a lower octave here, ready to play these notes. That's the first kind of location, I guess. The next chord is sort of up at a B minor 7 chord, so your left hand will be there, F sharp here, and your right hand will be ready to play in this area here, so sort of D major chord, but you will be playing this chord here as well. And then we'll be moving to B flat major, B flat F, B flat D, F, and then moving to an F major chord with an octave F here and A, C, F. So they're the main sort of chords for the introduction. And the motif, which is mostly played by the right hand and then taken a bit with emotion in the left hand, is this. That's it slowed down. So I'm playing an E and A to begin with, and going up to the F sharp and back, like that. And then I move to a C sharp, F sharp, A pattern, and I keep my upper fingers on the F sharp and A, and then sort of move around with the lower fingers like this. On the keys, and then when I get to the B flat major section, the pattern there goes like this. So it's a kind of triplet pattern, and you're doing a little sort of grace note that's slowed down up to the D and F, and then you'll hold that F and then play the other notes sort of in a descending pattern like this. Meanwhile, the left hand starts down here, so it gives you a bit of a pick up to that right hand motive like this. So if I just play the left hand in isolation, it's doing this. Okay, so let's put that together. You've got your left hand set up here, B flat, F, and B flat. So when the right hand plays this, so there he was playing, on the beat. And then we arpeggiate up to give it a bit of movement. I'm just starting on the F, and then we play C, and then that's essentially an F major chord, C, F, A, C, and then putting my thumb under to play the D.
end up on D major again with F sharp and A there. Then we sort of do the same thing again. With a few little differences. Sometimes I might play that interval, other times I might play it with a D and F. There's just a few little subtle differences that, you know, you can vary around. So that's the introduction. And then the verse has that same chord pattern, but you want to keep more of a flowing arpeggiated motion, I guess, to make it sound nice. So I'll just sort of slow down the first verse, play it very slowly. So what I do sometimes when I'm trying to work out all the details of something is I use the YouTube function, which slows down the playback. Sometimes to half speed or even less. It distorts the sound a little bit, but still it gives your ear time to listen to all of the inner notes. You know the chord structure, and sometimes that's the easiest part to figure out, but I find it difficult to get all the notes in between that I want to hear. So I hope that helps. And as I say, you can slow it down even further. The little part that's it's almost like a bridge and chorus in one, goes like this. Repeats. So what am I doing? I'm starting with a C in the bass, and in my right hand I start off with a chord that's essentially like an A minor chord or a C major with a sixth. So I'm playing C, E and A, and I play the melodic line with the upper part of my right hand like this. Repeat that G, I start playing the D as kind of like an anchor note in the bass. Okay. And once I play that, I'll move the left hand up to a D minor chord in the bass, and that can alternate with the melodic pattern in the right hand. So I'll just show you that slowly. And then Dawn Breaks is sort of what's played is a D in the bass, and then we've essentially got an F major chord up the top, F, A, C, and you can just sort of rock back and forth on that. And that ends up on a sort of fairly sparse chord of F and B, keeping the D in the bass. And what happens now is there's a little interwoven pattern between the two hands that goes like this. D there and then ending with a C at the very end. And then we go back to that pattern again. Actually, I might play the C there. The D. I think it sounds better playing that C when you do that chord. Last time, stay on the D, and then we move down to a B flat. So B flat major, got octave B flat, and then D, F, B flat in the right hand. Move down to A minor. It's an A minor 7, so you'll be playing A there in the bass and have your fingers ready to play that E and A, and your right hand will be playing a C major chord, but if you put that over the A minor, it's an A minor 7. So the pattern I use, and I heard Neil play, goes like this. Then it gets you back to the original Okay. So that's the basic structure of the song. There's a little bit towards the end where just an instrumental is played, and again that's just a reprise of the main theme, like this. But when you play the part with B flat major, just take that up an octave. Like that. So it's the same thing, but up an octave. And in a minute, just looking at my scribble. And again, when you repeat, you can take your left hand down to that low B flat. Sort of broadens it out a bit, and because you're not singing at that point, I don't sing anyway, it just makes it a bit more interesting and expansive. So go back down to the B flat octave, but take your left hand down an octave lower and arpeggiate up the F and the D while you're playing. So it sounds like this. Yeah, my hand's just out of shot, but that's ending on an F chord with a low bass. Okay, and then it goes back to the dishes. Dishes are all washed and broken, all you do is cry. And then that other motive plays for the last time. And the very end just ends with a little flourish that I've heard him play. So for your very eyes. So that's a D major chord, but you're just lengthening it out by arpeggiating the bass. D, A, F sharp, A. And then your right hand will go up an octave here and play an E and an A and resolve to the F sharp. And then it'll do that again in this position up here, A, E, F sharp. It's essentially the same thing. And then you'll finish off with E, F sharp, A. So again. Okay, it's a great song. I love it. Have fun.